Alright, so I know the audio sucks, but here's the old Shar Blocking I have on my 3ds.org. Basically, you do stuff like this. Might seem a little complicated at first, but you can make new blocks, draw on them, I guess. Give it stuff. Solid effect means, you would walk on top of it. Detailed collision means it will just be detailed collisions. Without this, every block would be like a square collision. This is completely for the 3ds browser speed. Finish effect basically means when you touch this object, you would win the game. Control effect means you control the player. That's pretty much it for this game. It seems kind of like it's a little complicated, I guess, but this is the whole game right here, basically. Draw stuff, give it effects, place that stuff here. Placing invisible walls. I could give the invisible walls a solid effect. Anyways, that's the old one. Well, the second old one. I had an older version too. I forgot all about that actually. I would have included it in this video if I knew about it. So let me go back. Back. Oh wait, no, I don't have the old one here, do I? No, I don't. Well, oh well. Oh, I should have refreshed the page. This is the new one. Actually, hold on. This was one of the new ones. It was pretty nicely made. It took probably 3-4 days to do all this. Maybe 5 days, I don't know. But it's no longer programmed very well to make stuff work. I did have, I can move this around easy and stuff programmed in here, but this one failed. I'm not too sure how to even play stuff. Okay. Yeah, but anyway, this one's old code, old crap. This is the new one. I mean, of course, this one, you're never gonna... If I didn't have it in this video, no one would have known this even existed. But this is, what I do sometimes. I make stuff. It turns out like I didn't like it or something, didn't seem perfect. Nowadays, I just ignore it, start all over completely from scratch, and then boom, I got this one. I like this one. Mainly the graphics, it looks freaking like a game. Not like any game, like a pixel game, and man, I like the way this one looks. Play doesn't do anything. This plus sign doesn't do anything, but that's reserved for addthis.com links. So I click create. There's no animation or anything on here, but I just started this new one. I already had the old one you know, I don't want to work on all that crap unless if it's completely finished. So if you're new at making games on whatever this game's going to be called, it might be called My Share Game. But then I thought about, well, maybe it should be called My Share Games with an S. Like I thought about that just today, right before I was thinking about getting a domain name. But then I was like, you know what? I might not even call it that. I might end up calling it My Mini Pixel Games or something like that. Because these are pretty much mini games, almost kind of. Yeah. So I have no idea what I'm gonna call it. So yeah, there's basically the X button for quitting, and then there's this. So if you're new, you're not gonna be confused with 50 million options. You're gonna be like, well, this is the only thing this game has. What? Okay, I'll just click it. You'll click new, for new sprites. But then erase, you should probably pretty much ignore that. You would probably go, oh, erase. That would probably just erase this, which it does. So then you probably just click this little square. You don't even know what it is. And then you see this right here. And then you probably like, oh, okay, so I just paint stuff here. That turned out to be really nice, by the way. That was completely on accident. It's weird, huh? So yeah, you'll just make a little sprite. You probably like, okay, what do I do with this? Or you probably would go a little bit further. You're like, okay, well, there's a head. Okay, maybe you decide to make a new sprite, new block, or new sprite. Sorry about the audio. I know it's terrible. Oh yeah, by the way, the colors. I want the colors to be simple so that when someone new plays this game, they won't be like, well, what color should I use or whatever. So I basically just had a variety of colors with a darker version or a lighter version, and white, black, and gray. So it's pretty simple. Just pick a color, really. It'll also make the games have a little pixel style to it. And then yeah, you would probably just keep going back, wonder what to do, and then boom, an icon pops up. So it's slowly, while you're making stuff in this game, the game will basically slowly, I don't know, show you how to play in the background without you even knowing it. You'll basically repeat what you just did. And then this little square right here, I need to update that. You cannot even read that text there. You have to zoom in a lot. I can't scroll left and right, so I can't really even show you what it said. It says add sprites and crap, but whatever. Screw that for now. It's not important. So yeah, you might get lost here, but I will have an icon saying that these blocks below are the effects that this object will have. So you would basically, after you read that text somewhere, you just go through these icons, read each one by one, and then it just makes sense. Gravity, oh, that makes sense. There's an icon explaining what it is too. Control sideways, that might not make sense, but if you read control top down and look at the icon, you'd probably realize that, oh, this is like a little side scrolling, and this is like something that's not side scrolling, or is side scrolling, but called top down view. And then solid, you should understand, the floor is solid. I put an arrow there too. Damage, lava spikes, spot on hits, that would not make sense to you, but it's basically detailed collisions. This is specifically for the Nintendo 3DS browser. I could have everything with detailed collisions on the computer, it would work no problem. But this is literally there only for the 3DS browser support if I make this try to work on a 3DS browser. Because detailed collisions is a lot of speed on a 3DS browser. Anti-gravity, that makes sense. and then finish. The finish effect. It's it could be like a flag, and that's all the icons I have for now. Okay, I was lost for a second. If I click only the top left corner, of course, I'll have information saying stuff about whatever, and then I could just make that a sand block, and then if I go back, this object is the whole sand block. And what I mean by that is, if I do stuff, whatever, I can place the sand block like that. That's the floor. That's already done. By the way, you can scroll a lot. This map is a lot bigger than the old one. But that's not important right now. So, when you read this, hopefully it will make sense somewhere here that I would have. But later on, what you would probably do is something like, maybe nothing like this, but whatever. Now you're probably wondering, what the heck is that crap? Well, on my new object, I'll click, doesn't matter left or right, put the head there, and then put a body right there. And then of course I'll give this control or whatever. And then the game will understand that as, pretty much a more detailed object. So, there's the player. Of course, if you want, you can also just have, this is like my traditional kind of player. Actually, I know what to, no, never mind. Oh, yeah. No, I can't. I could have a 8x8 pixel player. Oh yeah, the paint bucket. It works. Oh, I just took off his pants. But it works. So if I wanted a 8x8 pixel player, it would just be the same thing. Give it the player effects, whatever. The game understands this as, whatever size. And then boom. It's pretty simple. New object. I guess the game understands that as whatever, and it's basically a more detailed block, more graphically detailed block than these other blocks. But yeah, this is pretty much how you would make games on this new version. and it won't have the same URL generated game thing that the other one have. This one, when you make games, it would save the game information on the server and then give you a short random URL that links to your game. If you don't know what I mean, well, I don't know if I even showed you this old one. I don't remember if I no, I think I did show this in this video. I don't know, who cares. This one, all the Shar Blocking, whatever, gives you a URL with random codes everywhere of the game, and it basically says how to make this game. Instead of that, it's gonna be something like example.com/games/ and then some number. But yeah, this is how games would look like, and be, it will be this simple to create games. Just make the sprite, create objects using those sprites, and then give the objects, what's the purpose of this object's life. And that's it. That's how this game will work. Look at that menu.